All right, so another study in our 2019 seed production report looked at the effects of straw removal on soil health and tall fescue seed production. The primary objective of this study was to look at soil health outcomes under bale versus full straw management. Our soil health analysis was conducted at OSU's Soil Health Lab, or the Central Analytical Lab on campus. It consisted of 11 different measures of the soil physical status, the soil chemical status, and biological activity of the soil. There are commercial labs out there that offer different soil test packages and soil health test packages. The methodology on this is still evolving, and you can't compare measurements from one lab to another. I just want folks to know that and note that going forward. The second objective was to explore relationships between these different soil health outcomes and key soil and field properties, and those were the age of the stand and the clay content of the soil. So this is a 2-year study. Thus far, we only have data from 2019, just finished the 2020 sampling. But in 2019, we had 11 locations throughout the Willamette Valley. At each location, there were 2 fields. These fields were managed generally by different growers, but we tried really to the best of our ability to match the fields up in the age of the stand and in the soil type. Looking at some select results here, and some of them were a bit disappointing, I'll admit, but that's research. We didn't see any change in physical measures between the different management practices. So in terms of compaction or aggregate stability. We also didn't see any change in the % organic matter or active carbon between the management practices. There was a lot of variation, particularly in the active carbon between the within the data set. We did see an increase in potassium under full straw management. We expect this with the high potassium load in the straw. We also saw increased respiration under full straw management. Some interesting results when we look at the data in relation to clay content and age. Here is the data for both management practices in relation to clay content. And as you can see, as the clay content of the soil increased, we saw an increase in many of our soil health measures. So that was organic matter, active carbon, water stable aggregates. To a lesser degree, respiration, potentially mineralizable nitrogen were influenced by soil clay content. We also looked at all this data in relation to the age of the stand, and you see a really similar trends that a lot of the soil health properties increase with the age of the stand. And this is again across both management practices. So this is really showing that as we move, as the stand ages and that time since tillage and that time since disturbance, also with increases in below ground inputs with time, we tend to see pretty strongly an increase in our soil health outcomes. In summary, it's not easy to compare across soils. You've got to account for clay content and stand age. And we really recommend do not try to compare across soils, but use these soil health measures to track management over time within a field. We do see that potassium increases and respiration is seeming to increase under full straw management. So far, our data on carbon seems to show that it relates more to age and clay content than straw management. We have added 2 different depth sampling intervals in our 2020 sampling. So maybe we'll start to see more change in that soil carbon at shallower depth in relation to straw management. Let's see what the data says. So big thank you to all participating growers both last year and this year. Really appreciate that. And just thanks for watching. And I encourage folks to take a look at the full report and discussion in the 2019 seed production report.